This Ricardo Zone.
Say what it done.
And this is my hood to your hood.
Yeah, I got a question for you. So when you first know that you wanted to sing?
Man, well, like I said, I grew up in church. Every good singer, or every singer, I'm gonna say good singer, every singer, pretty much came from the church.
Right.
My dad is a pastor. He was a Baptist pastor for the majority of my life. So I came up in church, singing, playing the piano, playing the drums, going all over these different churches in Essex County singing. I think that's how a lot of people know me from being a little boy singing in church. You know, your dad actually is a part of my upbringing. Your dad and my dad sang in a group called the Voices of Harmony together.
Right.
Right. And they had some of the sweetest acapella harmony that I've heard in my life. And my dad's song, natural tenor, what we call it, in our language we call it top.
Okay.
So he sung top, natural top, and then your dad sung baritone, and was like a heavy baritone.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know that's like the next thing to bass.
Right.
You know. So I came up in those rehearsals, like standing in between my daddy's legs while they singing, holding your daddy hand. So when my daddy was doing something, your dad had, so like I grew up around your dad, you know, and my dad rehearsing, singing here, singing there, singing in different churches. So that's how it started, man.
But when, like, you know, like, when did you sing like your first lyrics? Well, I ain't gonna say your lyrics, but your first.
My first song, I remember vividly, bro. Shout outs to my Uncle Richard, man. He just, him and my Aunt Ree, rest in peace, man. They let us, as kids, you know, my parents, of course, they let me sing and play. I had like a drum set at the house. I had a little microphone with a little amplifier. Like, I had all of that. But my uncle and my aunt, man, like, thank God for them, man. Like down to my music, like me being a musician. Like, when I was a kid, I used to go to churches and I see a set of drums, I start crying because I wanted to play. And I knew my mom wasn't gonna let me play. And my dad and them used to always have a saying that if a kid cries to do something, he gonna be okay at it. You know what I'm saying? So
Some positive stuff.
yeah, so I used to always go to church with my aunt. We went to church and she just let me get on the drums. And I was terrible. And I taught myself how to play, and I would watch the older guys over me how to play, and I just started playing like that. And then as far as lyrics, man, I remember vividly just being on their back porch one day, and me and my cousins were playing, and I wrote a little song, and the words were, "I am a bird flies for me." Those were the words that I wrote. And I remember singing it, and I was like, wow, like this is fun. So for a while, it was me imitating people that I heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hear, back, I think when I was a kid, man, it was Michael Jackson, I can remember, it was Prince. And then gospel singers, I would hear it and I would try to impersonate what I heard. And then I just developed the sound from that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that too. Like, was your voice like? When people heard you back then?
It went through different phases, man. I had a phase where I sounded like a little girl, and I still sing, but on the high side now.
When you sung though, did people say like they knew you were gonna be a singer?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You kind of have to. Well, I knew I wanted to be a singer. I'll say that. I knew I wanted to be a singer. What people thought about me always mattered. So as a kid, you don't know who you're reaching. You don't know who you're blessing.
Right.
You just know you're a kid and people are just up, just clapping. You don't know at that time what you're doing to those people.
Right.
But as you get older, people, when you're not around as much and those people are still around, they miss that sound. So you hear years later, oh my God, I remember when you were a kid and I knew right then, that boy got a strong voice, he gonna be something. And like I said, I grew up just impersonating all of the strong singers that I heard. My dad, my granddad, you know, like It's so many people I can go down a list of names like Marvin Gaye, Al Green. Like my dad played all kinds of music, and the good thing about my parents is they didn't put. By my dad being a pastor, me coming up in a Christian household, they never put a limit on what I listened to. I never really had a desire to listen to music with a lot of cussing in it, but secular music, just music period. Like I just like sounds.
Right.
So
Right.
I like the way country music make you bounce up and down. You know, I like that. And then with gospel, I like the way gospel make you feel it. And then in R&B, I like the way R&B music made you feel love. That as Mama and them used to say back then, it make you y'all mannish. It made you feel mannish.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
as I got older, man, I was in gospel for so long. As I got older, I just learned how to be a part of both worlds. Just adapt to whatever you become a part of. Be a chameleon.
I used to hear you in school all the time singing through the hallway.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, man.
I used to get on people's nerves, but
I thought you was good, bro.
I ain't lying. I always wanted to get better. I always wanted to get better, man, because I always felt like the underdog. I was not the popular guy. Hey, I was not well liked. Hey, Anson County, a lot of y'all didn't like me. A lot of y'all still don't like me, but it's okay. I bid you Godspeed anyway. Listen, what I'm saying is a lot of people didn't like me. I wasn't the most popular guy, but everybody loved to hear me sing.
Right.
A lot of people didn't like to talk to me. A lot of people didn't like to get be around me. But when I sang, those same somebodies was standing there at
Paying attention. Yeah.
Now some of them enjoyed it and then said to my face, "All you know how to do is sing."
That's enough.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
If that's cool. Let me get in here, do what I need to do in this classroom, pass, and get out.
That's right.
I did just that.
That's right.
Wasn't the smartest nigga, wasn't the dumbest nigga. I did what I needed to do, get out of it, show people I got common sense, you know, and made the best out of myself. That's what I did. I went and made something out of myself. But what really had to happen was I had to get out of Anson County.
Right.
Facts.
No diss to Anson County. I love y'all. Y'all made me. Y'all are part of who I am today. But I had to leave to become something.
Right.
That's all them facts, man.
One thing is, home people can be very. Home people can be. They can damage you in a way.
Right.
I was trying to find a good way to say that. Hey man, y'all ain't gotta pass that under the table. Listen, pass it across, man. The people here know what you gotta do. You ain't gotta do that. Y'all, I'm in y'all spot, bro. You ain't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the respect. I appreciate that. But y'all do what y'all do.
Okay,
so listen, back to what I was saying. What was I saying?
Said about the home people.
Oh yeah, home people can be damaging, man. Home people can be damaging. Reason being is because people love you so much that they'll want you to do anything. And because they want you to do anything, they're gonna always encourage. They don't see the flaw. You can't sing.
Right.
But because they love you so much and they want you to do so well, they want to believe that you can.
Right.
So you believe this all your life. And you go to places like American Idol, X Factor, The Voice, and you do these auditions, and these people tell you, hey, no. And then your heart is broken.
But they didn't see what we saw.
But see, one thing about me was like I had no choice. I had to find something to do because I was raised up around a lot of girls. My cousins, TT and Sean, I was raised up around them. Those was like my sisters. So like coming up, my little brother didn't come to 93. I was born in 88. My little brother didn't come to 93. So a lot of my childhood up until then, like the real times I remember like being outside, like playing and singing with my two cousins was before my brother got here.
Okay.
And then when Jamarcus got here, I had a little boy to play with. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like I within myself, I had to find something to be good at my age. You know what I'm saying? Like my age, being a little boy, what can you do? I don't want to be in the house. Mom and them don't want me to be in the house all day playing with my little wrestling figurines that I had.
Right.
They didn't want me playing the video game all the time, so I had to go outside and make something happen. So started learning how to be creative.
Let me ask you this right quick. Did you feel the love and the support when you decided to actually take this serious from the county? Did you feel that support? Love?
After it was seen that I was doing something. People showed me love always. People always show me love. People always enjoy hearing me sing. Some people would pay to see it more than others would. But the love really started. I saw people that are related to me say that they didn't want to see me succeed. Because it's, I don't know what it was about me